go. We should be recording now.
So I will have to get up and stir the soup about every 5-ish, 10 minutes.
That's fine. We have about an hour before the family party starts.
Cool.
And welcome back to Spotlight, where we dive into ideas in your mind and dive deeper into our own personal experiences. It's getting so close to a good one. I am sitting here next to my host, Love.
What's up,
Love,
guys?
how are you doing?
Good.
Good. We are here. Hold on. First, you better subscribe, and comment, and share this podcast, because this is going to be the best podcast for your personal development and /growth /growth. So we are here today in the living room at your house, and we're preparing for a family party in an hour.
Yep.
So I wanted to come over, get this done and over with. It just seemed like the right time, and just everything lined up. So here we are. We're sitting down, and we're going to talk.
Yeah.
Talk about podcasting. I sent you... Hold on. So everything's good with you, right? You good?
Yeah.
Feeling good? So you... I actually did too today. I'm not going to lie. I did this morning, and I gave Doug a bath. So let me just... Let me go through here, my cell phone, and check. I sent you some shit that I want to listen to, or that I want to talk about. Beyond the Illusion. See, I didn't remember this. So they talked about humbleness is a comfort and a fact, delightful experience, and it cannot be shaken. Humbleness is an experience of who sees that everyone in Earth School is on path that is as difficult as his own. And then they talk about clarity. See, this is when I should really take notes. Clarity goes hand in hand with humbleness, because clarity is the multisensory perception of personalities as earth suits and interest in the souls that are wearing them. Clarity is seeing beyond the shell or form of appearance and into essence. It allows essence to essence experiences, soul to soul experiences. It enables life to life experiences. For example, the life of a tree, of a forest or a cliff, of a stream, of a bird, or of the sky, and your relationship to it. Experiences of this kind are meaningless. Is that a mess up in the book? Experiences of this kind are meaningless to individuals without clarity. That's a mess up in my brain. That is to 5 sensory personalities. Clarity brings reverence, and reverence is clarity. An individual with clarity, life, in awareness of essence, his or her essence, and the essence of all he or she encounters, a world of essence, a universe of essence. That is essence, is that... Okay, we're just going to end there. So that it kind of brought back what I wanted to talk about. So essentially, it kind of talks about just being connected to Earth, being connected to your surroundings around you through authentic power. And I think this whole idea of being connected to your brain / the science of it all kind of correlates to what we started here. So anyways, the humbleness and the clarity. So if you notice your surroundings and you're around in your surroundings, you're there to... Somehow the universe is always connected. What are you doing? She is not paying attention to me. This podcast is already off the rails.
So, just so that you all have a clear distinction, everything that Daniel was kind of, reading, skimming through real quick, is from The Universal Human by Gary Zukav. Is that how you say it?
Zukav.
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 So that's the book that he was reading out of.
Oh yeah, I probably should have prefaced that. Nope. Nope, not doing it.
I did not get a chance to read this yet, so I'm going in just as blind as the rest of you.
Well, I think I'm just as blind as me, because I didn't fucking read. I read it, but I'm up to page 60, and I read things, and they just go right out. But that's normal if you're not taking notes or anything of that sort.
Yeah. I definitely will be revisiting this after I sit and read it, but I do like quite a few things that I was hearing.
It's there's a part he writes about. It was about clarity. It was something before. It wasn't about. It might have been about clarity, because that was in like the previous chapter of what I read. That chapter was called Beyond the Illusion, but it's talking about clarity, and he must have used clarity 50 times
Mhm.
in a few paragraphs, and that's where. And this was like page like 40 into the book, but the first 40 pages are good. Anything beyond that, just repeating words. But it's the idea of just kind of drilling it into your head and getting the idea of what the hell he's talking about.
Mhm. So where he says clarity brings reverence and reverence is clarity. Do you when's the last time you heard the word reverence used?
I'm looking that up because I don't know what the fuck that means.
So
And I've read it over and over in the chapter, and I'm like, I don't know what this. I should look it up.
reverence is also often a word
Reverence.
that's used in reference to God. At least in Christianity, that's where I've heard it the most.
It's gotten everything you just said.
It is
That's
a
what.
feeling of awe that is also paired with like a sort of fear and like a healthy respect, I guess.
There it is. Deep respect for someone or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think just like the deep respect of like the reverence of yourself. That's what really this book is really about.
So
You got really cool sparkly eyes, and like your makeup is like, what do they say, on fleek, on point.
thank you.
That's just lit.
So even though I didn't read this, I watched a panel discussion about wonder recently. And they were kind of talking about the difference.
Oh, I listened to that.
Yes.
Yeah, you sent that to me. That was a while ago.
This is what
now.
made me think of that.
It was 5 scientists who sat down and talked about literally the word wonder and what does it mean to wonder.
Yeah.
And they went into their, like, one was a psychologist.
Maybe we can link it down below.
Yeah, we'll do that. I just got to go back and do that.
But it is really cool. But they talk about like wonder and the experience of wonder. And there's a point where they talk about how the feeling of awe sparks the opportunity for wonder. So when you experience something and you're in awe, you're kind of in that moment of like first perceiving something, and you don't really have all of the details around it. You don't totally have the context for what you're experiencing. And so there's an element of fear because there's an element of unknown.
Right. And that's, I think, where the, like we talked about, I think it was the last one or the one before that, about the fight or flight, like the survivalist, the human survivalist.
But these experiences, even though we're no longer, being chased by bears, fear is a tool that helps guide us and show us, hey, I don't fucking like that. Like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
And in the context of experiencing awe in the present moment and how that gives you clarity and keeps you humble, that element of the unknown is where a lot of us are not comfortable staying. And that's why we have anxiety, because we live in the possibilities of the future and how to avoid the worst ones. And we live in the past where we're digging up our old traumas and reliving the patterns because we're getting triggered by that moment in the present that feels like fear. But if we can embrace that moment where we feel that initial fear and stay in the moment, we will have clarity.
Which is kind of what we're all looking for.
It gives you the bird's eye view where you can look at your past, you can see your patterns, you can look at the possible futures and make decisions based on those possibilities. But neither control you.
Right. That's the analogy that makes me think of our universe, our Earth, the place we live on, is the size of our fist. And like, but it's all perspective. And there's just so much. I remember when my friend first told me that. I feel like he was like stoned when he told me. He said that. He said, imagine like in a bag of rice, like here's another way to explain it. In a bag of rice, you pick up that little piece of rice. That's how big our Earth is in perspective to our universe and the place we live. And like it's like, oh yeah, that does make sense. That's cool. But like it's not until I kept asking myself over and over and over again that it kind of makes sense that it's one of those tools that we talked about the last time that I use when it comes to my anxiety, where it's like, all right, I need to pull myself out of the loop that my brain is stuck in and realize that we're just a little piece of rice in a bag of universe. Oh, that sounded good. Oh, spitting facts. Yeah, and I think with this talk, we'll talk about the talk, the wonder talk. There seems to be like it by the end of that conversation, like nothing was done. They scientifically debated the idea of wonder through their perspectives of being a psychologist, I think there was a
neurophysicist, I think.
Yeah. And then there was like maybe two more. I don't know, but either way, they were all in different areas, and I think there was 5 people. 1 was the host, so 4 were scientists. And so yeah, just that by the end of that conversation, they realized like they still don't have the answers because they're wondering about wondering, and so that's like the.
I don't know that they were.
It's consciousness.
Trying
that's
to answer anything so much as kind of talk about the value of wonder, especially in their fields. It was something that seems so ethereal and even childish to a lot of people. To see how that would play a part in something so clinical and serious as science, that they really do go together.
Yeah, that's it's funny you're saying this, and like little pieces of that talk is coming back to me. Yeah, and I think it's definitely something I feel like I've been dealing with lately. There's been a lot of just I've been going through a rough patch of life, I feel like. It was my birthday yesterday, and to pull some cash in, I'm delivering through DoorDash, and they I got this order. It was early. It was like my second or third order, and I walked in, got the order, came back to the car, called the guy because he put the same address where I picked the meal up. So I'm like, this is not right because he wanted to have me picking this up. So I called him, and he ended up being from Camden, far away. And let's be real, I don't want to travel to Camden. Just not, kind of not safe there in certain areas. But I just don't. It's a 25-minute drive. I don't want to do it. Called the guy, figured it out. He's like, oh, I'll try to change the address, and like I don't think he was getting there to do it, or I just don't think DoorDash allows you to change the address. So I had to call customer service, and customer service canceled the order. I don't know if he canceled the order or customer service customer service canceled the order, and I got a free meal on my birthday, and it was a breakfast, and it was delicious. And yeah, I'll send you a picture. It was great.
That's awesome.
So it was so it's just like it's funny. I'm on a Reddit forum for DoorDash drivers. And it's a lot of people just fucking complaining about people tipping them $2 for, an order that's going 10 miles or something. The whole system of DoorDash, of the whole food delivery business is broken. And they hire everybody, whatever. So, I just posted that, and I put in the post that I've delivered over 1,700 orders with DoorDash. That's a lot. That's a lot of orders. And they said, and I said, the universe is on my side. On the top of the post, I posted the picture. I said, the universe is on my side, and it's my birthday, so it's a good day. Mm-hmm. And I had over, I think it's rounding up to about 700 upvotes, which is 700 likes. And at least 80 people have said happy birthday to me. I don't know. It's so funny how people are so kind. And just like a lot of people are into like just telling people happy birthday. We were talking about this. Me and Kaylee were talking about this yesterday. people just like saying happy birthday to people. Like it pops up on their Facebook. They're like, oh, I'm going to say happy birthday. I don't know. People were into it.
I feel
Whatever.
like it's that like last connection of like when you don't talk to someone online for an extended period of
Yeah.
time but you still want them to know that like, hey, I wish well for you. Like I still want to be
Yeah, I get
connected
that.
to you enough for you to know that I wish well for you.
But on my end, I agree with that. Like it's kind, I get it, and I'm gracious and thankful for that. But like, there's always an awkward moment before like I say a thank you, or even if I go like the happy birthday. Like I'm always just like, I haven't talked to you in years. I don't know what else to say to you. I hope like, and they say like, oh, I hope you have a good day. I miss you. Good day. You know, I hope you're doing well. It's like
You don't know whether to ask how they're doing or
right. It's like I don't hear. It's just like I don't want to just keep this like an annual thing every day on my birthday. We're talking about how we're doing, and that's it. Like there's no other conversation after that. So it kind of just it's hairy. But I think it also comes to I feel like I've been disconnected. A few podcasts ago, we talked about just being disconnected and walking away from your friends. Oh, influences. That was our first episode.
Mhm.
And like, I went through the past week or two. We didn't do a podcast last week. And I just, well, oh, you gotta stir. She gotta go stir the soup. She's making some broccoli cheddar soup. I lost my train of thought. I'll bring it back around. But we talked about influences and recently we've you know what? I'm gonna wait for her because I want to hear her reply. So be right back. All right, and we're back. Welcome back. So it's just like the past week I've just been dealing with people. I guess I'm my own worst enemy, as we all are. As we all are our own worst enemies. I feel just lately I've been just in such a bad state of mind, but like after getting that free meal, that free breakfast, I finally felt like there was clarity. That clarity was there. And it's from being humble. Call back. That I just feel like I've accepted the fact the way my life is and the people who are not in my life anymore. I had to accept that, and I feel okay with that. And it feels because I've went through kind of a really rough patch mentally. I was like, I've been getting migraines, and I've never gotten a migraine. And yesterday I got a second migraine, and exactly almost a week and a day before yesterday, that was the first migraine I've ever gotten, and it took me out the whole day. I had to rest, and my eye vision went blind. It's called oh boy, I forget what it's called. It's something with lack of blood flow, blood sugar, working out. It's pretty much living and existing. They're all the symptoms with every freaking sickness people get. And so it's just, I think it's part of stress, my blood pressure. I've been eating too much sugar. And so I don't know. I've just come to an acceptance recently. And I think just going through the hard mental things, but also like listening to the universe by like the universe giving me a free breakfast. And that was the coolest thing. And some comment on the Reddit said, the universe rewards those who are good. And like, I appreciate those comments because I'm doing all right. Everything's all right. And it's cool.
I'd like to amend that statement. The universe rewards those who believe they deserve it.
Right. But I also think there's a lot of naive people out there who say, oh, the universe is bullshit. But then they wonder why they keep getting into an accident, or they wonder why they keep getting pulled over because they're constantly, just constantly have a defense up. Just they constantly put their wall up, and they don't allow the universe to come in. And I think people who are more likely to say, "Oh yeah, the universe will work for you," are people who've accepted themselves spiritually and really accepted themselves. I don't know. I guess it's all circumstantial. So
It can be both.
yeah.
I love that you got that little bit of just
Oh, it's delicious. I'm gonna show you. Nobody on the
love.
pod can see it. I'm not linking it. I can link the Reddit post. I'll link the Reddit post. There it is.
Wow.
Right?
Yum.
It's a full freaking meal.
Yeah.
It was an egg, mushroom, onion omelet, with a shitload of potatoes.
You had a feast.
Yeah. It was it was great. The pancakes were horrible. You know what somebody said? Also, like Reddit, I don't care. Reddit has become my place to just do and say anything. It's a great place. Somebody said freeze the pancakes, and when you're ready to eat them, take them out, put them in the toaster.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm like, what? That blew my brain up. It was the blow up brain emoji, dude. I'm like, what? No way.
Life hacks.
Yeah, 100% fact. So yeah, it's just everything's good. And as I keep telling myself, everything's good. Everything's gonna be all right.
Your mama's here.
Oh shit. We could get her in. Is she right? Did she just walk past?
She just pulled up.
My mom always. I joked around and said, "Watch, my mom's gonna be the one that pulls up, like at 1:00. Party's at 2. But here she is, 20 minutes late. What was it? 21 minutes. Do you just want to end it here, or do you want to keep going?
I have one more thought.
Okay.
So, what I think is really cool about that moment of awe
Yeah.
that gives you that moment of clarity, if you can hold on to that clarity in that moment and not get pulled into your future or your past,
Balance, right?
what comes after that, moving through that fear,
Was a migraine.
is wonder.
Yeah.
So you must have made a choice this morning in that moment of frustration.
Wait, you mean yesterday morning? Before the
Yeah.
breakfast?
Yeah. Think about the moments that, like,
Well-
the choices that you had previous to that. And go back, like, through the past, like, day before that happened.
So
How many times did you come to that moment?
I mean, I was only up an hour before it came.
Even the night before, though.
But so this all goes back around to that subreddit where I was able to see a bunch of people get a bunch of, when people cancel their orders or DoorDash cancels it, they end up just taking, you just take the food. And there's a lot of people. One guy had 40 pizzas. It was to a party and they canceled the order. He had 40 pizzas and he's like, I don't know what to do with it all. I'm going to eat some, but I don't know what to do with it all. So that's, I never, of all the deliveries I've had, I've never had my time of that time of somebody canceling and getting a meal. And the irony of it being on my birthday and just the universe just rewarding me, it felt like I hit the lottery.
But you had to go through that period of, like, ish before you got to that moment.
Right, and that
Right.
was the lull I've been in.
And in that lull, you made choices.
Yeah. And it was the choices of my breathing exercises, my yoga, my writing, my music making, my
Mhm.
creative endeavors, just even getting the choice up to, half-ass make the bed, but like still make the bed.
Yeah.
So
You did what you could.
Yeah. I did what I can, but knowing I'm moving the needle forward by working and doing with intention.
Mm-hmm.
Boom! Mic drop.
Hell yeah.
I hope they got that. Look, there's the waveform. Boom.
So yeah, just remember, pushing through that moment, you are arriving at a moment of wonder.
Yeah.
In your very near future.
So, see, no, that's actually a good thought because something good happens in your life. Think about those moments leading up to that good moment. And I don't think a lot of us do that. And I don't do that. And I think I'm going to start recognizing that more. Like, all right, what happened before this?
Mm.
Yeah, that's so cool. I heard your dad just yell, they're doing a podcast.
Well, I gotta go stir the pot.
All right, so should we just end it?
Yeah, I think
All
so.
right. All right, so look, I love you, love. It was a great time sitting down with you for a quick half hour.
Love you too. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Cheers.
Woo!
Thanks, guys, for watching. Like, subscribe, share, bye.